Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have very special guest comedian, actor Lance Woods is in the building.
Woo! Thank you so much for having me. It smells good in here. It smells like it's been some cooking going on.
There was a girl that made us really good tacos. Yes, tacos.
What kind of tacos?
They were ground turkey, but what made her tacos good was she did this, like, she fried the flour, and it was like a puffy, like, pastry type. It was really good. I was like, oh, snap. I had to call cut and, like, eat in the middle.
Take a real bite. I be liking when people get creative with, like, normal ingredients.
Yeah,
like that.
I never had tacos like that before.
You know what I mean? It's like my tacos, on mine, I fry the lettuce, and then I take the tomatoes, and I season all of the cheese individually. Like, you know what I mean? People got some interesting things, that they do you never thought about.
Never. But speaking of that, I have a slang on the show that goes, the broker the dish, the better the story.
Okay.
And lately I get these dishes and they're like $20, $30 worth of ingredients. Yes, it does feed a whole family. But when we saw your email, it was very simple. Go ahead and tell our listeners what it is you're going to have me eating today.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you the dish first. So this is just some cinnamon toast. Well, not just. It is cinnamon toast. Cinnamon toast. The ingredients are simple. Mm-hmm. You need bread. Mm-hmm. You need butter. Mm-hmm. You need sugar. Mm-hmm. You need cinnamon. Mm-hmm. You need a toaster or an oven.
Yeah. There we go. I saw that and I was like, oh, yes, thank God. Oh, my gosh, we ain't got to do a whole lot of shopping. We could just stop by.
You know what I mean? Just go pick some stuff up.
And this is stuff you have in your fridge at home, guys. Cinnamon and sugar and butter. So really, if you're out of bread, that's the only thing you need to get. So
that's it. And you can go get some bread.
Yeah.
That's it.
So go ahead and start making the cinnamon toast. Show us how it's done.
Oh, so I'm finna start cooking it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do I get out? Do I stay seated? Do I really...
It's up to you. It's up to you. This your moment. This is your chef moment.
Let me show y'all. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can see me still, right?
Yeah, and you're wearing a live.
You say what?
You're wearing a live mic.
Oh, yeah. Duh. So look, first you take your bread. Mm-hmm. Bam. Take your bread and you put it in the toaster. Now this is key. When you put it in the toaster, you don't just drop it in the toaster. No. You place it in the toaster. Show your bread some love. You know what I mean? You make this dish with love. It's like dropping your baby off at school. You don't you say, hey, and you know what I mean? Then you set the toaster. 4 is good depending on how you like your toast. You know what I mean? If you want some light-skinned toast, you go a little more that way. You want some dark-skinned toast, you go a little more that way. You know what I mean? Right now we at 4.
You're hilarious.
That's right in the middle.
The comedy's already started.
You know what I mean? So we right in the middle on the, you know what I mean? On the colorism of the toast. Now, everybody has a different method when it comes to pushing the toaster. Me, I like to use these 2 fingers.
Oh my God, Lance!
These are my toaster fingers. You know what I mean? So then when you take these fingers...
I'm sorry for all your listeners out there just wanting to hear his backstory.
And you toast that. And you just let that happen. You let that toast happen. That when the toast is toasted, that's when you are anticipating. You feel me? You getting excited about what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, this is about to be fantastic. Now, if you can eat this without the bread being toasted, but then it ain't the same.
I couldn't imagine eating it without bread toasted.
Because you shouldn't imagine that. That's something you shouldn't imagine. If it ain't toasted, it ain't the same.
Have you ever done it without it toasted?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Absolutely not. No, I would never. I don't even like, so I used to, all right. This is real. We going back to the origins.
That was what I was about to ask you.
We're going back to the origins of being broke. So I grew up in a house. I had 2 siblings.
Older? Are you the oldest?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the favorite. So you got to feed 3 children, and so it's a lot of bulk stuff. bread, cereal, snacks, like just filling things, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of bread because bread is cheap and you can get a good amount of bread. And, you make your sandwiches and all of that. And then sometimes you might run out of meat for the sandwich, right? Or cheese or whatever. So now you got to get a different kind of creative. When it comes, we got all this bread, what we going to do with it? You know what I mean? So I used to eat bread balls. You ever had a bread ball?
No.
Huh? You want to try one?
I'm down to try a bread ball.
Okay.
Well, no, never mind. I think I know what you're going to do.
I'm not going to do anything. You're going to do it. It's your bread ball.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So I want you to take.
I think I know what he's going to make me do.
Take that bread.
Welcome to Play-Doh, guys.
There you go. Ball it up. Ball it up.
Not the crust? Not taking off the crust?
You take that's yo. You know what I mean? If you a cruster or if you were not crusted, that's on you.
I'm going to take off the crust.
Okay, then take off the crust.
I'm going to be I'm going to be one of those where the mom's like, don't waste the bread.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm not going to like this bread ball.
Yeah. You took a lot of the bread off when you, but
okay.
no, it's too late. Nah, that's
okay.
So
this is my bread ball.
Not folded. You got to ball it. There you go. Come on.
I really wish I would have.
Come on. There you go. There you go.
Where's our hand sanitizer?
Nah, it's too late.
All right.
Wasn't no hand sanitizer in the 90s. That's why our immune system's so good. These new kids is soft. They need sanitizer for everything. Yeah. Whatever happened to eating a little flu?
COVID.
You right. There you
COVID taught us a lot about germs, guys. We got the bread ball.
There you go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone's ever put like cinnamon and sugar in the bread ball.
I don't think.
You just want me to enjoy this raw bread.
Just enjoy the raw bread. Make sure you drink your water, because if not, the bread ball gonna stay right there. It ain't going nowhere. Did
you come from a 2-parent household?
Yeah, I came from a 2-parent household.
Okay.
That's simply put.
Did you go to private school? No, I'm just.
I had 2-parent household.
Clarence had really good parents.
Yeah, and Clarence's parents had a real good marriage. It was a 2-parent household, but you know what I mean. We had our issues and struggles.
They had a really good marriage too.
No, they did not. They had a very interesting relationship.
Are they still married?
No, they are not. But you know.
Oh, the tea is piping over here, guys.
Yeah.
So okay.
Boom.
So your parents separated at what age?
I was grown. So my dad was around when I was really, really small. And then something happened and they got into something and then he left. And he came back probably when I was around 10, something like that. He was back for maybe a few months. They got married. They got married right back. And then they stayed married until I was probably like 20 something. I don't remember the exact age, but then they stayed married. But it wasn't, they shouldn't have been together. Yeah.
So they was fighting from day one?
From day one.
Okay, so they had a couple kids after they got back together? Or?
No, we was all there already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he left and really came back?
He left and came back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he left and came back. I don't know what happened, but it was...
You didn't ask?
Nah, I didn't care. Like, not that I didn't care, but at that time especially, too, it was like stay in a child's place back then.
Okay.
Like back
but
then,
as an adult,
kids wasn't allowed to ask questions.
You didn't ask questions later?
Nah. I just, it wasn't really a concern.
Trained y'all. They trained y'all stay in your lane.
It just wasn't. I'm somebody who's grateful for a lot. So, like, I was just grateful for the time, grateful for this. Like, I wasn't thinking like, why did you leave? Why? We wasn't good. Like, I didn't think like that. I was just like.
So you were happy to have him back, though.
Happy to have him back. Happy to have my mom. Happy to see them together in the whatever capacity that was. And then when they broke up, I was happy that they did that because I understood that it didn't make sense for them to be together. I was watching it. You ever had parents that argue a lot?
I'm a mixed breed. I was exposed to other problems.
Okay. I mean, I was just, yeah. I
don't think people really argue with Jamaicans. My mom's Jamaican. It's like a one-sided argument.
Oh, yeah. You got to listen and be like, okay, all right, okay, all right.
Well, like it's more like a silent, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy was they would argue so much, it almost was entertainment. Like when you young, you just, you know what I mean, you looking forward to, it's about to be some drama. And it would be about anything. That's how I knew they weren't supposed to be together. It was like they would argue over things. It's like that's what y'all fighting over?
Like over how much butter to put on this hot toasty bread.
Now I'm gonna tell now I'm gonna show y'all This is real back to the basics, right? So first off, she handed me a butter knife to spread the butter on the toast. First mistake. This is how you gotta do this. You gotta take.
It's already melted, by the way.
You gotta take this just like this.
Okay.
Or it ain't right.
Okay.
The butter knife makes it not official. You take the bread and you take the butter and you spread it just like that. That's how you gotta do it. You see that?
Yeah. You see what you.
Oh man. Then you take the butter knife and you clean up your mess and you put that over there. Because they fancy. They brought
melted the
pre-melted butter.
Melted butter.
Hey, let me tell you something. They go all out at eating with broke. But this is going back to when you was broke. So you couldn't melt the butter. You had to just let the butter sit out and hope it melted and put it in the sun or something. So then boom. That's how we did it like that. Mm-hmm. You spread the butter on it just like that.
It looks like icing when he's done with it.
Exactly. Boom.
All right, cool. Now we got the butter.
Boom. You see how buttered that is?
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
A lot of butter.
Now you take your sugar, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do it this way. Boom. I'm gonna take the sugar.
When was the last time you had this?
Man, at least 20-something years.
Oh, well, you about to go down reminiscent lane.
Boom. Then you take the sugar.
That's a lot of sugar.
It is. And you know what's crazy is usually you would put the cinnamon first.
Oh, my bad.
You would put the cinnamon before the sugar because the cinnamon holds the sugar. Everybody know that. Oh. Right?
Nope.
Okay. Boom. Then you take the cinnamon.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of cinnamon. Oh my goodness.
Boom. Now, back in the day, because this is your toast, you would have took your finger and spread it properly, but
thank God.
We got some civilization now. So now we're gonna spread the sugar and the butter and the cinnamon like that. Boom. And put that on there like that.
Nice.
Now try that and tell me that's not
taking the one with the less butter.
Tell me that's not the most beautiful delicacy in the hood you ever had.
You know you're eating this too, right?
I would never eat that again in my life. But no, you go ahead and
what are you talking about? You gonna eat this?
I'm gonna eat it.
Think I'm the only tester bunny rabbit around here?
I got you.
You gonna eat this. Here we go. Reminiscence.
We eat it together?
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers. Don't give me your butter ice inside.
I got you.
Here we go.
That tastes like 7th grade.
I think I'm better at this than you.
Oh yeah.
Let me show you how to do it. Okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But this is really good. Hold on. You put too little sugar on mine. Load it up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on. Go ahead. Now it's not enough sugar. Before it was too much sugar.
Oh yeah.
Now it ain't sweet enough. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Take another bite. Now let me tell you about that.
Look at me trying to chef up his dish.
Let me tell you about this right here. Me and my brothers, my cousins, because my house was one of the houses everybody would come to. Neighborhood, everybody come to my house. My brothers, my cousin, my uncles, my young uncle. I got an uncle that's my age. My mom's the oldest of 9 children. So we'd come in my room, bring the toaster, we would literally bring the toaster in the room. Uh-huh. Bring the toaster in the room, bring the loaf of bread, bring the butter, and we would just be sitting there watching TV, making this, eating it. Like this was the snack.
This was a snack.
This was what it was. But you get full because it's bread. We getting full off of this. This used to be like we look forward to like, yo, you didn't bring the toaster? What you doing? Go get the toaster.
Yeah.
We're not finna be going back and forth to the kitchen. We playing video games. We watching Jerry Springer, Jenny Jones,
wow,
Martin, The Box. Remember The Box, right? The music, when the music videos play. And we was eating this. That's how we was getting down.
So,
you done? You want to take 2 bites? That's crazy.
So, take me back now. So you come from this 2-parent household. Where does you start to look towards the comedy direction? At what age?
I started comedy when I was, I know what age I started going into comedy clubs. Mm-hmm. I was like 24. Mm-hmm. when I started comedy, I started in my church. So what happened was,
you need some water? That dry ass toast?
I don't need no water. I need a whooping. If I'm gonna go back, I need to go all the way back. I need to go clean my room or something. This would just take me back to.
Oh wow.
I need some chores. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. It's nostalgic.
It's nostalgic. You know what I mean? And you ain't got where the TV at. Put Jerry Springer on. Let me go all the way back. I'm finna go home and pee in a bit. So I used to imitate my pastor. Like, you know, I come from my pastor was were animated. So I used to be at the house and I would just imitate him to my mom and my sister, just joking. At this point, my brother had already left for college. But I would just be imitating him, just joking around. And my sister, my mom would laugh, and that was enough for me. And then my mom at the time, she was over the church anniversary. She would put the programs together for the anniversaries. She said, I'm going to have you do that at the church. I said, no, I'm not doing that at the church. You know what I mean? Like, no. And then, so at the anniversary, she put me, I didn't know she put me on
the program.
On the program. So then she say, whoever, I don't remember who was emceeing the event that night, but she say like this. They say, and next up we got Brother Lance. Like that's how, because I wasn't, I wasn't like, I wasn't talkative. I wasn't like the life of the party. I was really like
quiet,
real quiet, and you know what I mean. So when they read, everybody was like, because they didn't even say what I was doing. It was just that I was coming to the stage. So I go up, and all I remember is the first thing I said was, y'all know how pastor be on Sunday. And then I just went into it. And when I tell you, everybody in the church was like hollering. Like my pastor was like on the floor with real tears coming out. Like it was real tears. You know what I mean? Somebody like jumped up running and like ran, like, like it was a fire. Like it was insane. And that was the first time I had ever done anything like that on a stage. I wasn't thinking I was gonna be a comedian at the time. I just thought that was fun.
Now, did that enlight some kind of spark in you right there?
It did, but I didn't know how to go from that to a comedian.
What did your mom say after the performance?
She was like, "Oh my God, that was so funny." She was like, she was like, "There's something wrong with you, boy." She was just kind of like that. But you know, I started comedy before Instagram. There was no Instagram. I don't remember if, I think YouTube was out, but it wasn't like it is now. Yeah. My point of saying this is the only, and I didn't grow up in a LA or a New York. I grew up in Sacramento. So you only seen comedians on TV. Like I think if somebody's like they want to start comedy now, they'll go on Instagram and they got all of these examples of comedians or people who are doing humorous things and be like, oh, I can do that. Yeah. But that's not how it was. This was when I did that at the church, that was probably 2006 maybe or something like that. 2005. Because I started comedy in 2010, 2011 when I first started getting on stage. Okay. You know what I mean? So this was 8 years earlier or something like that. Yeah. 6 years, something like that. So, yeah, I didn't know. I just knew that was real cool.
And did you start gravitating towards watching comedy tapes though?
I always did. I think I probably started watching more, but I always grew up watching comedy.
Okay. So take me to like the first time where you start to pursue comedy. Okay.
So it goes back to the church. See, so much of my story is rooted in the church. And that's something I'm real grateful for because my church, my pastor would try to nurture gifts. If he seen you had a gift, he would try to create things or nurture it to help get you to where you can get to. So I do the thing at the church. So now going forward, every time there's an event at the church, they would just ask me to do something. Can you just host it? Like something, just
So you went from the kid that they were like super quiet to now this is the kid they want to MC.
It was worse than this. So I used to do the sound at the church.
Wow.
Like I used to, because I always knew this. Always knew I was supposed to be a star. Always knew I was supposed to be, someone impactful. But I ran from it. I used to always try to be behind the scenes. So instead of I would say I do the sound. I would hold the camera. But I got real bad vision. I got contacts in. Okay. But if I took my contacts out, like, yeah,
I'll be holding up 3 fingers and you say you didn't see nothing.
Yeah, you'd be my color. If I took my contacts out, like I it's bad.
Okay.
But I never wore glasses. I just used to thug it out. I didn't wear contacts back then either. I just used to walk around blind. So I used to be doing the sound at the church, but I couldn't really see. So the pastor would be like telling me to turn stuff up, and I'm just looking like. And he like, yeah, I'm like, thumbs up, I am doing a good job, right? Like, it was bad, right? I did somebody's wedding, and I was holding the camera, but I was all over the place because it was bad. I was trying to do all these things just running from my gift, right? Yeah. So, back to the church. So he would do these things, like host this event. We're doing this, can you host it? So then he created this First Fridays event. It was like a talent show, like, people come through, and I was hosting that. And that was another time where I just got to just be on, it was just me really being on stage in front of people, figuring that out, you know what I mean, getting comfortable with that. So now, fast forward, we're going into New Year's Eve, going into the year 2010. Now, you know, a lot of churches have services on New Year's Eve to go, and you don't gotta be out there in the streets for New Year's. You can come bring the New Year in with the Lord. Let's pray together. That's when I get your year started right in the house of the Lord, like that, right? Yeah. So then my pastor's son Ishmael called me. He said, "Hey, can you do some comedy at the New Year's event?" And I was like, "All right."
Okay. How did it go?
It went great, but this was my first time ever writing jokes. Everything I did before that was me making fun of people at the church or imitating people at the church. This was the first time I wrote jokes that had nothing to do with the church. And
it had to be PG too, right?
For sure, yeah. But my church wasn't PG. Never mind, that's another story. Listen, we're not gonna talk about that right now.
So you wrote these jokes and they landed.
They landed very well. Some of these jokes, I don't do them now, but I could. Like, if I think back to the jokes, I was always good writing. I always understood jokes. I understood what a punchline was supposed to be. I had a good understanding of jokes. So that was the first time I wrote jokes that was just like this. I don't want to tell jokes about sister, her, or brother. I just want to write jokes. Yeah. So that was that. That went well. That's November going into...
And how old are you at that time?
22, 23.
Okay.
22, something. Yeah.
Okay.
So then that's going into the new year. Now, this is crazy. My church is directly across the street from a comedy club.
Oh.
Like,
the signs are lining up for you, very obviously.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, directly, like this across the street.
What is up with this mic? It's not feeling you today, huh?
Nah, it's all good.
I don't know what is up with it.
Yeah, it happens. But this, the same way, this is how close to, like, walk across the street and you're at the comedy club. But I never knew that because I never knew what a comedy club was.
So at some point you acknowledged this comedy club.
I acknowledged the comedy club.
Is this the first club you actually go into for stand-up?
Ever.
And how'd you do over there?
You want the full story?
I want the story where you bombed.
That story didn't happen for a while.
Wow.
But, yeah, the bomb story happened for sure, but it didn't happen at that point, nah.
So you start doing comedy in this club. Do you stay at this club for a long time before you rotate out? No,
this is the Sacramento Punchline. So I go there because they have a showcase once a month. So June 2nd, I go. The month before May, May 5th, it was the first Wednesday of every month. it was May 5th, but it was Cinco de Mayo. So they moved it to May 12th, which is my brother and my uncle's birthday. So these dates are all significant to me. That's my first time I ever went to go watch live comedy. Okay. So I go to the Punchline and I go watch live comedy for the first time. I'm right in the middle, second row, and I'm just watching. And I'm like in awe. Like watching everybody was amazing. I couldn't believe like how they was able to do this. I know all these guys now. And, you know, some of them weren't amazing. But to me at the time, yeah, this is incredible. You know what I mean? So I say I'm going to come back and do it next month. So now next month, now we at June 2nd. So I pull up. I knock on the door. Doors open at 7, show start at 8. I get there at 6:50. I knock on the door. Hey, I'm here for the comedy show. She was like, okay, well, come back in 10 minutes when we open. I said, okay, I'm one of the comedians. She said, okay, come back in 10 minutes when we open. I said, okay, cool. I come back at 7 o'clock. I'm here. And she's like, okay, well, there's the manager. And I say, hey, how you doing, man? I'm here for the show tonight. And he said, who are you? I said, man, I'm Lance Woods. And he was like, I don't know you. And I said, okay, how do I sign up for the show? He said, there ain't no sign up for the show. If I don't know you, that's not how it works. So then I was like, oh, okay. And then I just left. So I went back to my car, but then I'm like, I can't leave. I told all these people I was going to be at the show tonight. And it,
you was advertising the show that you weren't even on.
First, I didn't know no better. I go on the website. They say it's a show. You got a showcase. I'm okay.
So then what do? You go back?
I go back because this is once again before Instagram. Before, like, Facebook is a thing. Yeah. But I've told everybody who would listen to me, like, yo, this what we doing, this tonight. Yeah. So I'm like, I can't leave. I don't got everybody's number. Like, so I go back and I'm talking to him like, hey man, I told you I'm be on the show and I just need 5 minutes. And he was just like, he would say real mean things and he'd walk away. He'd be like, everybody said they funny till they bomb. And then what? Then he walk away. And I'm just standing there like, man, what happens after I bomb? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm processing all of this. So then 20 minutes go by. Now it's 7:30. And I'm like, hey, man, I just need 5 minutes of your time, bro. So we're standing by the bar now. This is where the entrance is. So he would come by the bar, say something, walk away. So now let's say it's 7:40. Show starts at 8 o'clock, 7:35. People keep coming into the show saying, hey, Lance, can't wait to see you tonight. Hey, do your thing tonight, bro. Hey, Lance, hey, bro, I'm proud. Like, and this was a lesson I learned early about selling tickets. Yeah. I didn't know nothing about no guest list or nothing. Everybody who came to see me bought a ticket. So by the time it's 7:55, the club is packed. And it's probably like 60 people that came to see me. Okay. Which is
60 people?
About 60 people, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot for
He had to give you that slot.
He had to. I didn't know no better. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is my first introduction into show business. I didn't know I had just sold a bunch of tickets and people came to see me. And it's like, your hands are kind of tired at this point. So then at 7:55, he said, okay, you got 5 minutes. You're going up first. Jesus. I said, okay. I didn't even know I was supposed to be nervous to go first. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was so like angry because I had like a bad temper. It's better now, but especially at that time, I was real like short fuse. So I'm angry because how he talking to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't tell nobody who came to see me what was going on because then it would have been a group problem. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just be chill and like. So then he come back to me, so 8 o'clock, he said, okay, you're going up third. First he said first, and he said, you're going up third. So then there's a host, 2 comics, and then me. The comic that goes on before me, he was probably on stage for 7 minutes. I don't think anybody smiled. Okay. Not a smile. Yeah. And that made me more angry. Okay. Because it's like,
I can do better.
And I got to fight for 5 minutes and he just get to go on with no, he ain't put up no fight and you let this happen? So now I go on stage and it went really, really well. It went really, really well my first time. But like it was, the jokes I were telling were funny. I wasn't a great performer. It's my first time at a comedy club, but I still remember the jokes I told. I remember like they were quality jokes for my first time. And then from then, you just start to meet the comics and go places and figure out stuff. And, this guy has a room over here and this guy has a room over here. Now, if you want to hear the bomb, go ahead.
No, I don't want to hear the bomb. So after that club, you do well. Do you start to now understand the process of going after a certain title in the club and pitching yourself?
No, I still don't. See, this is what I thought. I thought it went well. And I was like, so am I supposed to wait for HBO to call, or do I need to send them the tape from tonight? Because clearly they need to know who I am. Did y'all see what I just did?
Yeah.
That's how I'm thinking. I didn't know how none of this stuff works.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Chris Rock is funny, but I was funny too. So clearly we should be working together. That's how this is supposed to work.
Of course.
What are we talking about? So I was just kind of, I didn't know. I didn't know. I was, at that point, I'm real, just inquisitive. I'm trying to figure out what am I supposed to be doing, because I don't know nothing.
So who are you going to find out what's your next play?
The comics I met that night. Mm-hmm. I remember one comics, his friend of mine still, his name is Miles Weber. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, how do you make money doing this? And he was like, hell if I know. That was like
how long do you think, how long was your struggle for at least not making money?
Not making money? My first time on stage, that was June 2nd. The next year, November 2nd, was my last day working a day job.
Oh, so within a year, you were able to fully support yourself off comedy?
I was able to figure it out. I wouldn't say fully. Yes. Fully supported myself. I had to change some things. I had to learn how to manage my money different.
Yeah.
I had to learn what not to do. Okay, maybe I don't need that. Mm-hmm. Do I really need cable? I don't think so. Do I really
started living on a budget?
Started living on a budget, you know what I mean? Start dating, you know what I mean, lesser women. You just have to change it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta change some things up. You know what I mean? Look,
so you're
she's not in the budget. That's
hilarious.
That's too expensive.
Did you start dating women that had more money too?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that help you at some point in your journey?
Yeah, but not like that. What really, really, really helped was I learned how much stuff I don't need.
Yeah.
I just learned, what I realized is the thing that we get caught up in is we when we make money, everything we get cost constant money.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I haven't had a car note since my first car. I've never had another car note.
Really?
No.
I'm very highly I'm a car note queen.
Yeah, and
every time I'm about to retire, I'm like, nope, put me in, coach.
Yeah,
I need another one.
Yeah, but that's kind of how the cycle is in. So it's I've never people pay bills on iPhones.
Yeah.
They want the new phone, so then they add.
Yeah.
And it's no, if I'm gonna get the new phone, I'll just go buy it.
Yeah.
And if I can't afford it, then I don't have it.
Smart. So you live within your means. Yeah. Which is a very good thing. I can't imagine Sacramento, and correct me if I'm wrong. You get to go up that many nights, or the times in one night. All
right, so I'll tell you this story. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to find comedy clubs and things. Now at this point, in my head, you can never tell the same joke twice. This is what I believe.
Okay.
So I thought once you told that joke, you got to tell new jokes.
Got it.
So every time
You're running at a different speed.
I didn't know.
Got it.
And at that point, I was just so excited. Mm-hmm. Everything I thought was funny, I wrote. Everything I thought was funny. If I just wrote it all down, I'm just gonna try it on stage.
But how many clubs are you averaging a night in Sacramento?
So that's what I was gonna tell you. Mm-hmm. But I'll speed through it. Mm-hmm. When I was really getting good, I was on stage at a minimum 12 times a week.
12 times a week?
Yeah.
In Sacramento, they have that many clubs you can get up that. What's the distance between the clubs, though?
All within a 30-mile radius.
30 miles? That's pretty. So, almost 30 minutes apart. Or within.
Yeah, so what it was.
Because I'm saying this because if you're a comic in New York, you can get reps up that much, right?
For sure.
Most of your comedy, the more reps you do, the better you get, right?
Yes.
Even though you're writing new material on the regular, clearly. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out for you to at least maintain yourself how much repping you're doing to get to the point where you're semi-sustainable within a year.
So that's what it was. There was 3 comedy clubs, like major clubs, right? You had the Punchline, you had Tommy T's, and then you had Laughs Unlimited. Tommy T's is since shut, the one in Sacramento has, but Punchline and Laughs Unlimited are still there. So those were the 3 clubs. Then there's a spot called the Touch of Class. It's like a black spot. It's like a nationally known amongst comics. This was like a spot where every black comic had came through at some point. And I don't know if you ever seen Kevin Hart's Heart of the City. He shot that at Touch of Class.
Okay.
The first episode ever was shot in Sacramento at Touch of Class.
Okay.
So that was on Sundays. But then there was another spot called On the Y, a little bar that did comedies. You did that. So I would go to, and then there was a spot called the Comedy Spot. They did mostly improv, but they did stand up too. Okay. So I would go, okay, on Sunday, I could hit the Comedy Spot, I could hit On the Y, and I could hit the Touch of Class.
Got it.
So that's 3 on Sunday. Monday, there was a spot called the Stony Inn, and my boy Tristan Johnson had a show he called Nutty Monday.
So how long did you work Sacramento? For like a year, or when did you start to say, I'm going to move out of the Sacramento zone?
You mean to start to travel outside of Sac to do shows?
Do you still live in Sacramento? You live in LA?
I live in LA, yeah.
Okay.
But I just moved to LA.
Like how long ago?
3 months, 4 months.
Oh, okay. So you're new here.
Yeah.
Okay. So
but I've been coming to LA so long.
Yeah.
It was like
what I'm trying to get a lay of the land, because Craig got like 20 more minutes, is I want to see like how long it took for you to get that consistency, and what markets did you have to work to get that consistency up.
Right. So when the first thing, there's a guy, the first guy, whoever like took me on the road, named Daniel Dugar, out of Bay Area. And he was like, yo, you gotta go to grow. That's what he always said, you gotta go to grow. So then he had gave me his number one time, and I'm not the best at calling people. Like I have somebody's number and I just won't use it. And I'll be trying to get better at that. You know what I mean? So I remember I called him one day and I was like, yo, what should I be doing? How can I do this? And then he's big on like wardrobe. He's like a real sharp. He always wears suits. He was like, man, your wardrobe is important. Like talk like. So then me and him, we just went shopping. He was like, yo, let's just go shopping, bro. So I started wearing suits and all that. That wasn't really my thing, but it was just something, you know what I mean? But he was like, yo, why don't you start? You can come. I got these shows. You can come on the road.
Okay.
So there's these things called triple runs that's on the West Coast. And it'll be like, I'm talking about all of these small little Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Washington State, and you get in a car and just drive to all of these spots. But just like this show might pay $300, this one might pay $150, this one might pay $500.
Yeah.
And then so you do that for a week and you might come home with $1,000.
Okay.
If you got some merchandise, you might come home with $2,000.
Yeah.
$1,500, whatever the case is, right? So that I started to do that.
Okay.
Like I would just get in the car and just drive.
Okay.
And just go pick up 200 here, 300 here, 150 here. Sometimes get a room, sometimes sleep in the car. Like just really, but I was having the most fun because I was doing what I wanted to do. So it's like if I gotta drive 13 hours, I don't mind because I'm finna go see the most beautiful woman in the world. You know what I mean? Comedy.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, wait, what? So you're doing all of this and maintaining a budget. What are you doing with your daytime though? There's no hustling during the day. You're just like living life and writing comics, jokes.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I was doing regular stuff, going to the gym, playing basketball.
Where does acting enter?
So I started acting. Once again, I'm at a show. We're doing. My man Greg Vaughn had a comedy. He do a golf tournament. And a comedy show before, the day before. So we're doing the comedy show. It's me, Tony Roberts, Chris Spencer, Alex Thomas, Buddy Lewis, Flex Alexander. Yeah, that's the show. This is in Sacramento too. So we do that show, and after the show, this guy comes to talk to me and says, "Hey man, you're really funny. My friend is a movie director, and I just want you to meet him."
Okay. So
he says to me, I just think you should meet him. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. He said, yeah, are you gonna be at the golf tournament tomorrow? I said, yeah, I'll be there. He said, he's gonna be there. I'll make sure that you guys meet at the golf tournament. I said, okay, cool. So then the next day at golf tournament, this guy's name is Nick Leisure, film director. So I meet Nick, and he was just like, yeah, bro, I just hear you really funny, bro, and yeah, bro, let's figure out if we can work together. He's like, I want to see you perform. When are you performing? I just happen to have a show that night.
Okay,
at
cool.
the Tommy T's that is no longer open. Okay. I was like, I'll be at Tommy T's tonight. He was like, I'm coming through. So he come to Tommy T's. He's like, bro, that was great, bro. We gotta figure something out. Within a week, he sent me like a script, and he was like, I want you to read for this part right here, or like read this part, and then just send me like a video of you. Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, cool. So then I sent it to him. And then he's like, yeah, I want you to come by the office. Come by the office. He's like, yeah, bro, we start filming. we start filming in 2 months or in a month or something.
Now, before he gave you the role, did you ever entertain the idea of acting?
For sure. But I entertained the idea, but I never done any of the steps that would show that. You know what I mean? Like,
and you didn't go to acting school or anything?
No, I did none of those things. I did none of those things, but it was like, that's how it came to me. And this movie was like starring Mario Van Peebles and Glenn Plumbers, and like it was like I'm with seasoned actors.
Now, did you like the whole experience?
Absolutely. Acting it's a different sport. It's like a totally different sport. But I love acting because you get to be someone that's not yourself. You know what I mean? You get to disappear into something else. And it's a different muscle. Like you challenge yourself differently. You know what I mean? You read the part and you gotta say, okay, what would the character do? Yeah. Not what would I do? How would he say this? Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
Now that you've experienced both sports, which one do you like more? Still comedy?
Comedy, yeah. You got more control over the comedy. Okay. I love acting though. Like I'm getting more into the acting space now because first off, this is what I'm a comic first. I'm a comedian. So everything.
You're very funny, by the way. Extremely funny.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you. But everything I do is to bring you to my comedy. Okay. You know what I mean? So I can go do 100 movies. My goal, one of my main goals is for you to now come see me do comedy. Right? So it's like Denzel just said, theater is an actor's medium. Film is a director's medium. The stage is a comedian's medium. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So no matter what I do in front of the camera, they might take it and edit it different, and that's not what I did, but that's what they're supposed to do. This is their thing. Yeah. But the stage is my thing. This is the purest of my thoughts and how I can break it down. This is without the edit, without the cut. This is how I feel. I said it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, comedy always be first. You never say always, but I feel comfortable saying.
What would you say is the downside of being in this industry? You've been in it for over 20 years, I'd imagine, or almost 20?
No.
Almost?
Not. 13.
13?
Yeah.
13.
14, my bad, 14.
14 years.
Yeah.
What would you say is the downside of it? If you could say there was.
Yeah, I don't like to say a downside. I'll say it affects relationships for sure. But, you know.
Do you mean like romantic relationships?
All of them, but yeah, for sure.
All of them?
All of them.
Why do you say all of them?
You miss so much.
Do you have children?
No, I be pulling out. Oh. But like saying why I pulled this out the toaster, you got to get it up out of there now.
Ooh, okay, he's got a strong pull-out game. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Unless you want to eat this cinnamon toaster, you got to pull it out. You know what I mean?
You can always wrap it up too, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, if you wrap it up, do you really believe in God?
Boy.
So,
So it'd be affecting all relationships, as in family members, because you said all relationships.
All relationships. It's like I missed all the birthday parties. Okay. They do them on the weekends. I'm on the road. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I think even that can change later. It's like, you know, because I've been on the road consistently now for 6 years.
Was mastering online social media tough for you?
Yeah. I don't think I've mastered it. But
well, your following's pretty good though.
Yeah.
So you kind of, it looks like you're starting to get a hang of like the algorithms and what's working for you.
The following is growing. I understand how to be funny on the internet.
Okay.
Which is different.
It's a different type of comedy,
on stage, which is different than being funny here. Like everything is a different kind of thing to be funny. But I will say online, I think I need to grow my YouTube page. I need to get some long form content. Damn. And I probably got like 8,000 YouTube subscribers
that's still pretty good though.
Without ever trying.
Yeah.
Like, I've never tried to build a YouTube page. So,
why do you feel it's important to build a YouTube page though?
Because I feel like everybody in the world uses YouTube.
Do you think that
from the babies to the elders?
Does the social media play a role into how much you get paid now?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the new television. Mm-hmm. It's like the last star that was comedian who was like from a movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
what do you think of these like comics like Matt Rife?
That's my friend. That's my guy. I love Matt Rife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say nothing past that.
No. Matt's hilarious. I think.
You think he's funny?
Matt is hilarious.
Okay.
This is what I believe. I believe that the way people discover you sometimes is how they are always gonna hold you. So like Matt's been doing comedy for years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Matt was starting, he's like 14 years old. Like he wasn't doing quote unquote crowd work. He was doing the setup, premise, punchline. He was doing the jokes. He got famous from the crowd work.
Yeah.
So then
I heard about that. Yeah.
So then if that's how you seen him, you like, oh, he's just the crowd work guy.
Didn't he release a special just on crowd work too at some point?
He did. He's released 2 or 3 of them like that.
Yeah.
He has one on Netflix that's crowd work.
Yeah. You know I think I've seen that.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, it's like the ability to create and find your way is the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do is sell tickets.
Yeah. Well, how would you describe your comedy though? For people that don't know. I've seen him, so.
Oh, you was at the
That's why I wanted you on the show.
Yeah. I think my comedy is brilliant.
No, you got to describe it for people that For people that don't know who Lance Woods is, how would you describe your type of comedy?
It is high energy, intellectual warfare.
I like that.
That's how I view it. I'm trying to merge the worlds of Tony Roberts and Dave Chappelle and find that somewhere in the middle where you have this high energy, can say any silly thing, and also has some introspective, thought-provoking. Damn, I ain't think about it like that. Mm-hmm. And try to mix all of that together is kind of how I view it. Yeah, I think I'm really entertaining because like I watch comedy, and I can break down. I understand comedy, mm-hmm. so I can tell you, oh, that's that, mm-hmm. right? And there's some comics that are really good, and they're boring, right?
Yeah.
And like I'll be watching myself, and I say, I just don't want to be boring.
Well, I think my rule with comedy is that people. I never say a comic is terrible. I think that people laugh at what they can relate to. I think that most people laugh at and there are people that are just generally funny, but most people laugh at what they can relate to.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed.
Yes, and
mm-hmm.
a great comic will make you laugh at things you can't relate to at all.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, they can get you to laugh, but like I noticed that I tend, like, if I look at the comics that I'm like totally like, I'm a fan of this particular comic or this particular comic. It's comic that somewhat there's some kind of familiarity. You know,
the toaster get the words right. Go ahead.
But I say that to say that because I think there are comics that are genuinely funny, but to say, okay, that comic needs to be a staple in my, like, I want to continually. Yeah. I think there's got to be a little bit more of a relationship with the, like, I can relate to, say, like Bill Burr's continual anger. I make jokes around here all the time. I'm like, yo, I totally relate to this guy.
Bill Burr
you're holding it in. And then you just randomly explode. I'm like, yo, I got you, Bill. Like, you know,
I'm gonna fucking snap.
Yeah. or Sebastian. I keep forgetting. I love, but all the toxic, like anything toxic, like sign me up, like on that, like little deranged. I'm like, yo, I mess with you, but I do still can appreciate all different types of comedy. But I think even when I talk to other people, it's like some people may like say Matt, you know, and be like, you know, he's amazing. And it's like, okay, you probably find him more relatable than, you know.
Yeah. I think what's happened in entertainment is people like the person more than the product. So they want to relate to the person.
Yeah.
And it's like once I'm locked in with the person, whatever the product, I'm gonna support it because I like the person. It's like, especially with the social media age, it's like people are literally just falling in love with the personality.
Yeah.
And don't even know what you do.
Yeah.
They don't know if you're a comedian, singer, dancer. Yeah. They just know that they like you.
Yeah. Or they want to be, I think with social media, I think people tend to follow people they either want to be like, or I still haven't grasped the whole social media idolization, because to me it's like a platform where you present whatever you want to present.
Right.
It's like a mirror. It's like a weird picture show, you know. I don't think there's a lot of authenticity there.
It's not
but that's where comedy is great, because there's a lot of authenticity. For any fans that, or comics that are trying to look up to you, is that, you have your phone on?
I mean, it's vibrating. It's down there though.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Before we close out, I would like to see if you could give any advice to any young comics trying to be a comedian in the space of the comedy business.
Hold on. I think you call it. Yeah, Mom. No, just take the Plan B pill. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You're such an ass.
Oh, man. My mom be tripping, bro. This is.
I was like, literally, like, is he really taking this phone call right now? But when I hear the Plan B, I think that's hilarious.
I'm sorry, my mom she wild.
Your mom is that wild? Where you got that's Lance Woods for you guys, right there.
Whew. Come on, mama. We got.
Lance, how can people keep up with you and find out how to get tickets to your show?
Oh, I'm sorry. You asked me two questions.
I did. Your mom's Plan B.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the first. If you want to follow me, it's Sir Lance Woods. SirLanceWoods. That's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, Twitter. What's the other ones? Is that it?
TikTok.
And
by the way, guys, make sure you go and follow his YouTube, okay? He's trying to grow it.
Grow my YouTube, Instagram, Sir Lance Woods. Please do that. It would be really beneficial. All my tour stuff and all the ticket stuff is in the link in the bio, all of that. Cool. Now
even after we wrap, he's getting on the road too. So
yeah. I'm so happy you had me here. I really appreciate you letting me come here and cook this delicacy.
I could tell it meant a lot to you.
It did.
What advice would you give to someone though? For real.
If I gave a comedian advice, advice is hard for me because it's too general. But what I will say is, when you starting off, do the things that you think are funny and not what you think other people will think is funny. That's one of the main things comics struggle with, is they try to do what they think people will find funny versus what you just find funny. Because the same way you said Bill Burr and the anger, if you was like, people aren't as angry as me, then you wouldn't even be able to be yourself. Because that's how your people find you, is by you being you. You know what I mean? If you go try to, they already got a version of that. Just be, but I also think comedy if you're a good comic, it'll teach you how to be yourself.
I like
that. A lot of people don't know themselves.
I think the comics are more funny when they're 100% themselves, like unexcusably, like, is that the right word?
I mean, I'm not
unapologetic, unapologetically themselves, like they own who they are, right?
For sure, but you gotta.
Even the ones you can't relate to are more funny when you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this comic thinks this way or whatever. For sure, it's funny, right?
For sure, I give everybody, comic leeway, for lack of a better term. Okay. Like there's comics that say things that I 100% disagree with, but as a comic, he or she has that right to express that. This is a small request I be having. Just make it funny. Okay. It's a lot of stuff going on right now where it's just like just for the shock or it's like, no, just make it funny. Like, right, what you talk about? Just make it funny. Yeah. That's it.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come see us. I know you went through a lot today and you didn't quit on us, so I appreciate it.
I'll never quit on y'all, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all got an EBT card.
I think I messed up on the bread, though. I think I did this brioche bread and I was trying to be fancy for you.
The bread was way too fancy.
The bread was fancy, right?
The bread was way too fancy.
Because I feel like the bread messed up your dish, low key. Like if I wasn't eating tacos before this,
It didn't mess it up. It
was too thick. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the cheaper bread would have worked better. I was trying to be fancy for you, Lance. I was excited about you.
I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm excited about being here. It was good.
Yes.
It was good, guys. Like I said, it was like 2 pieces of bread back in, maybe 4 squished together back in the day, but it was still good. And it brought back memories. That's what it's about. Reminiscing your childhood. Where did you come from? Don't ever forget where did you eat when you broke? That's who you are.
And remember, Lance here his parents didn't have a real good marriage. Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning in.